So, a warm welcome to all. So, today we are going to begin our MSc class, first year's MSc class, and in that there are different papers for you, and among that I am going to teach you the paper that includes bryology, teridology and gymnosperms, and in that the part gymnosperms. Okay. So, in your degree classes you studied about gymnosperms. What are the features of gymnosperms and the types also you studied. So, now actually today I am going to discuss with you the characteristic features, general characters of gymnosperms, actually to remember you because you studied it in your second year UG classes. So, what are gymnosperms? So, while discussing gymnosperms, some of the pictures usually will come to your mind, and there are actually the phanerogams and cryptogams, major classification, seed bearing plants and plants without seeds. So, these gymnosperms coming under the group of phanerogams, and phanerogams are of two types, that is gymnosperms and angiosperms, and you know the fundamental difference between these two. Angiosperms means the seeds are covered inside a vessel, that is sperma means seed, angio means vessel, seed covered inside a vessel, inside a structure, protective cover. And in the case of gymnosperms, gymno means naked, sperma means seed, seeds that are not protected, that is the fruit like structure is absent in gymnosperms. Okay. So, here in this section we are dealing with the gymnosperms and its characters. So, gymnosperms are typically naked ovules or naked seed bearing plants. Here usually we can use the term ovule rather than seeds, that is better, and these are born unprotected on the surface of megasporophylls. This is that seed, this is unprotected on megasporophylls. You know these are produced in the female strobilus. Female strobilus is made up of megasporophylls, and each megasporophylls contains megasporangia. These are all familiar with you. Okay. So, seeds are not enclosed in the ovary, that is the main point here, and the phanerogams without ovary is known as what? Gymnosperms. Clear? Phanerogams without ovary is gymnosperms, or seeds not enclosed in the ovary. Clear? So, this is a very important point while talking about gymnosperms. Okay. Then, absence of double fertilization, another very important point. You know Navastin introduced the term double fertilization. What do you mean by double fertilization? There are two gametes, two male gametes enter into the female ovary, and in the ovule, inside the ovule there are egg, only one egg. So, two gametes are coming and only one gamete, male gamete fuses with the egg and form diploid zygote. What about the other one? That other one fuses with the secondary nucleus present inside the embryo sac. So, just go back and remember, and that fuses and form the triploid nuclei. Clear? Now, another point is the endosperm here is haploid because there is no double fertilization. So, after double fertilization the triploid nuclei become endosperm in angiosperms, but here there is no double fertilization. So, the endosperm is haploid, produced from the within the structure of the ovule itself. Actually there is no double fertilization. So, I will make you clear just to remember you what you studied in your previous classes, angiosperms. So, you may be familiar with these angiosperms, embryo sac with here the three chalasalent and that is micropylarent and chalasalent, antipodal cell, synergids. What is here present? One female egg and another secondary nucleus. This is a typical condition. Okay. So, one of the male gamete come and fuse with egg, another male gamete come and fuse with the diploid nuclei. So, what is produced is this male gamete fusion take place and form zygote, and the other one that is fused with the secondary nucleus form triploid endosperm, but that is not present in gymnosperms. Understood? Okay. Now, So, while discussing gymnosperms, you have to remember the two very important plants. One is Sequoia, Sequoia sempervirens. That is the tallest plant in the world, Sequoia. And another smallest plant among gymnosperm, that is Zamia pygmea. Among gymnosperm, Zamia pygmea. Okay. So, taller one is the smaller one. This is the smallest gymnosperm, not the smallest angiosperm. Clear? That is one more, that Wolffia. So, this is the largest tree ever growing in the world, largest tree in the earth, that is Sequoia sempervirens, coming under gymnosperms. Okay. And gymnosperms are evergreen trees and shrubs and showing xerophytic adaptations. And their plant body is like angiosperms, that is sporophytic plant body with a root, stem and leaves. Okay. So, they are the evergreen trees and shrubs with a xerophytic adaptation, because most of them are growing in such conditions. In Gulf countries, in deserts, you can observe the cycads. You can observe these plants like conifers in high altitudes. You can observe ephedra in such altitudes also. So, they are growing in such extreme conditions, usually showing xerophytic adaptations. And gymnosperms are the most ancient one, originated in the Paleozoic period and dominant in the Jurassic and Cretaceous period. So, Jurassic period is very, very important, and Carboniferous period is also important. So, this is growing in that time together with our dinosaurs. And of these, two groups are still living with us, that is cycadales and ginkgoales. They are actually the living fossils, because they lived many years back in the Jurassic time and they are still now existing. That is why they are called living fossils. What are the living fossils coming under gymnosperms? They are cycadales and ginkgoales, two groups. And ginkgoales are now showing only one, that is Ginkgo biloba. This is the Ginkgo biloba, a very important plant that we will discuss detail. Okay. Now, about the other features, vegetative features, these are the very important point that is occurring on the root system. Coralloid root system is present. Coralloid system is a common feature of cycads group. Okay. They are the coral-like structures growing on the just near the surface of the soil, and they having association with some algae also. And this is that anatomy of the coralloid root. Okay. And another peculiar, so coralloid root is very important. Another peculiar feature is mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is fungal associated root that increases the fertility of the soil. This is also a feature of coniferales. Okay. Then root having di to polyarch. What is di to polyarch? This is tetrarch. What is 1, 2, 3 and 4? Xylem group. 4 xylem group, 4 phloem group. You know that is radial arrangement. So, this is there is di or polyarch condition. Now, stem. Stem is branched or unbranched. Both the conditions are there. Woody and sometimes tuberous. Rhizomatous or tuberous structure is present in Zamia. One example is Zamia that you have to study in cycadales. Then branched or unbranched. This is, see the condition, two branches. This is highly branched system. This is actually unbranched system. Then long shoots and dwarf shoot, two groups of shoot systems present in coniferales and ginkgoales. Long shoot is the branch of unlimited growth, that continuously growing. But what about dwarf shoot? Dwarf shoots are the shoots that usually bear reproductive cones or strobilus. So, there are long shoots as well as dwarf shoots in the case of gymnosperms. So, ginkgoales and coniferales show this phenomenon. Clear? Okay. Now, wood anatomy. While discussing anatomy, there are two groups. One is wood is manoxylic and in another one wood is pycnoxylic. What is manoxylic wood? That is the wood observed in cycadales condition. See here, pycnoxylic is dense compact wood with a small xylem rays, small cortex and pith, very thick and compact wood. But manoxylic is loose wood. Okay. Wood spurs with a wide parenchyma ray, large pith and cortex. That is in the case of manoxylic. Manoxylic, large pith and cortex. But what about here? You can see small cortex and pith. Okay. And this is the nature of the wood. Now, leaf. Leaf are usually leaf scars appear on the stem. So what you observe in your coconut, when a coconut leaf fall, a marking observed in the stem. Somewhat the same structure, that is leaf scar observed here also. And leaf is dimorphic. What is dimorphic? Morphologically two types are there. What are they? Foliage green leaves and needle shaped leaves. Clear? So that may be pinnately compound leaves or simple leaves. Clear? Then microphyllous and megaphyllous are there. Small leaves and large leaves are there. Then scale leaves are there. Scale leaves may be minute or deciduous, that may be fall. Okay. Then scale leaves are only that, no other leaves in Ephedra. Ephedrals is an order where only scale leaves is present. This is the Ephedrals. You cannot see a leaf here. This in this nodal region, this is a nodal region. This nodal region you can see scale leaves only. So there are different species. There are in certain cases leaves are reduced to needle-like leaves. Some cases pinnately compound large foliage leaves. In certain cases both needle leaf scale leaves. In some cases only scale leaves are present. Clear? Okay. Now, and based on anatomy, young stem shows vascular bundles, collateral, open and entarc in a ring. That is angiosperm character. Xylem with tracheids and parenchyma. Clear? Phloem with sieve tubes and parenchyma. These are all typical features of that. And one important point you have to remember here, this in the case of phloem, that point I missed here, that is what? Companion cells. Companion cell is absent. What is absent here? Companion cell is absent. Where companion cell absent? In gymnosperms. Very important point. Okay. Primary cambium replaced by successive rings of cambium in cycas. That is, every ring become active in secondary growth. Ring formed again and again in cycas. Now, in the case of leaves, anatomical features are there, morphological adaptations are there with thick cuticle and sunken stomata. Then anatomy while discussing, mesophylls differentiated into palisade and spongy, but in some cases no differentiation. Then venation is also vary. Okay, this is a leaf of ginkgo, fan shaped leaf. This is a simple leaf, compound leaf, and this is zamia, and this is here you can see the simple leaves that observed like angiosperm. This is a netum leaf. Okay. So reticulated netum, that you see, this is very important. Reticulated venation, a dicotyledon character observed in netum only. Parallel venation in agathis, that is coniferales. Dichotomous venation in ginkgo. Clear? Now, then leaf shapes different. Pinnate in cycas, acicular in conifer, fan shaped leaf observed in ginkgo. In netum, somewhat same as dicots. Welwitschia is a plant coming under last category, nettales. Welwitschia having persistent strap shaped or ribbon shaped persistent leaf. This is the Welwitschia, a very interesting, a very unique gymnosperm, usually grown in the coastal banks of South Africa. You can see it having a long stretch of ribbon shaped or strap shaped two leaves, and the two leaves are persistent leaves that may there when its life finish. Clear? Now, the conifers anatomy while discussing stem or leaf, you can see resin canals, another very important point. And in the case of cycadales, you can see mucilage canal. See the difference? Cycadales mucilage canal and coniferales resin canal present. Then the cycads and ginkgo also. Then transfusion tissue is another important point. What is transfusion tissue? They are the extra lateral extra tissue like xylem meant for lateral conduction. They are present on both sides of the bundles. So this is the vascular bundles. This is the vascular bundle region. See, so transfusion tissue may be usually present on both the sides. Okay, that is mainly for conduction of water. Okay. Now, vegetative reproduction. Coming into reproduction, vegetative reproduction is very rare, but usually bulbils present in the cycadales. That is only vegetative reproduction. Okay. Otherwise, reproduction is sexual reproduction by megasporangia formed in megasporophyll or female strobilus, microsporangia in microsporophyll or male strobilus, etc. Okay. Then microspores or the pollen grains show different developments. Male gametes are usually non-motile, but when you take the example of Cycas and Jingo, male gametes are motile one. In Cycas, male gametes are observed with our naked eye. That is the largest male gamete that we can see with our naked eye. That is the male gamete of Cycas. Now, about gymnosperm's female structure. Female cones are persistent for many years. See, most of them are persistent for many years. They are produced on the megasporophylls. So, ovule orthotropous and unitegmic ovules. This is the cut open, ovule cut open. This is the nucellar region. Okay, and this is the structure of netum. This is its cover, seed coat. Then bitegmic netales, 2 integuments. 3 layers in many cases, outer and inner fleshy, middle stony. This is a typical feature. 3 integuments for ovule, outer and inner fleshy, middle stony. Okay. Now, microsporangia develop into abaxial side of microsporophyll, lower side of microsporophylls. Okay. Microsporangia per microsporophyll, it may be 2 or many. See, this is the a single microsporangia produced on the microsporophyll. Now, embryo development is meroblastic only from the basal part of the zygote. Okay, endosperm haplod I already told you, and this most of the members show polyembryony. Large number of embryo develops. Now, archegonia is another important point. Here, archegonia is present, but when you take angiosperm, archegonia absent. So, number of archegonia may be variable. Okay. Archegonia having neck and ventral canal cell. So, this is the archegonia. Okay. Then pollination is direct. Wind pollinated condition is also present. Fertilization is siphonogamic. Okay. Now, seed 3 phases are there. Integument and nucellus 1 phase. Endosperm with the gametophyte 2nd phase. Embryo next sporophytic phase 3rd phase. Alternation of generation is observed. Now, we can look into the different classes. This is the oldest type of seed plants appeared on earth 360 million years back, gymnosperm, about 360 million years back, and classified into mainly four members, that is cycads, ginkgo, gnetophytes and conifers. Okay. Then coniferales are the most prominent of present, and a very large number occur in the coniferales. Then ephedrales, netales and welwitschales, restricted distribution only. Okay. So, this is the welwitschia, this is the ephedra, netum, and this is ephedra and this is conifer. Okay. Now, this is cycads 175 million years ago. Majority of plant on earth were cycads. Okay. It looked like a palm tree with the cones. This is a cycad, male plant and a female plant separately. This is the cycads, cycas plant, it's a male cone. You can see a strobilar nature, closely packed microsporophyll. Each one of them is known as microsporophyll. And now conifers. Conifers bearing they are the cone bearing plants. So, their appearance is a pyramid shape or cone like appear. Okay, Christmas tree, So, they are the most diverse groups. They produce needles. See, this is a pinus plant. And they also reproduction by male strobile and female strobile. This is male strobile, that is smaller in small clusters. Female is larger with woody nature of the female megasporophyll, and it persists there for many years. Okay, this is used for preparing decorative items also. And pollination in the coniferales is usually by wind pollination because of the winged pollen grains present. You heard about the cloud formation, yellow cloud. All the pollen grains released at a time and from yellow cloud. Seed dispersal is also by immature seeds. Immature seed point upward, mature seed point downward. Okay. This is another conifer that you have to study for practical examination. This is cupressus. Yes, cupressus. You can see it's more compact cones here. See. This is the pinus male cone. This is pinus female cone. This is another very important one, Cryptomeria. Cryptomeria female corn. This is also the Cycas, again Pinus. Then this is a Ginkgo. Ginkgo biloba is very old one, living fossil. Usually now it occurs in China. They grow it as an avenue plant along the roadsides and also it is actually considered as the goddess of Buddhist and in Jain temples, everywhere you can see this plant. Okay. This is actually resilient to pollution from city traffic, very important. And this is a Neophyte. Neophyte is having 3 members, Neetum, Ephedra, Welwitschia, only 3 members. And this is a Welwitschia plant. Welwitschia plant is very, an attractive one, growing on the coastal areas, usually in South Africa, Western US also. And strap-shaped leaves are present, inflorescence at the center. This is the Neetum, very common in our area. So, in the sacred groves also you can see this Neetum. And Neetum having different species are there. Neetum are the woody climber. Woody climber occur in the sacred groves. And this is the male plant and this is a female plant. See, like angiosperm. This is Ephedra. Ephedra is appear like bush. And this is having the male flower and only the scale leaves present, no other leaves. So, look like nodes and internodes only, nodes and internodes with stem only. Okay. So, that is all about the different types. So, what we studied today is general characters of gymnosperms, a general awareness regarding gymnosperms. So, this is very important for the further classes. And you have to study in your syllabus, there are fossil gymnosperms. Most of the gymnosperms are fossilized. I already told you. In the first class, only 2 Cycas and Samia, in that only 2 living member and others are all, many are fossilized. So, you have to study more fossil members than living members. And next class onwards, we will discuss the classification and types also. Okay. So, I hope you understood well and also enjoyed, I think you enjoyed this class of introduction regarding the gymnosperms. So, okay, have a nice day. Thank you.